Good afternoon, children. I wish you the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem for a happy and peaceful day. Let me begin by wishing our fathers happy Father's Day. Today is Father's Day. How many of you knew that today is Father's Day? Okay, did you wish your father happy Father's Day? Okay, wonderful. What did you say? Okay, we can discuss about it later on. I hope you wish your father a very happy and peaceful life. Usually, we wish our fathers good health and peace of mind and all the best until the next Father's Day. So that blessing is valid for exactly 1 year. Right? So our wish is uh, to him to be happy and healthy. So that's wonderful. If you have remembered the Father's Day and wish your father such a wonderful thing, that is really, really nice of you. And I'm thankful for you for doing that. So, wishing our fathers and fathers around the world good health and peace of mind. Let's begin today's Dhamma class. Today is the last day of the Dhamma class for this year. After today, we are going to have 2 months vacation, and it means we don't have Dhamma school for 2 months until the first week of September. We will be having a period of no class at all. But if there is any special reasons, we will have special sessions like meditation and Dhamma talks. But I think you should have a kind of period where there is something else going on in your life. So I can guarantee that this coming 2 months would be a good time for you to engage with other activities depending on the level of restrictions you have. So let us begin this afternoon Dhamma class by the puja. As you know, I have prepared the puja for you behind me on the altar. It is placed with respect. So we'll offer them to the Buddha after observing five precepts. So let's make a wish that may our fathers be well, happy, and peaceful by the power of merits of this Buddha Puja, and may they have a good time for them to remember their fathers. And if they live, may they talk, may they do many things for their fathers. If their fathers passed away, may these meritorious powers be with your seers, your friends and family members, parents and family members. May they all reach to nirvana with the meritorious powers from this puja. With that wholesome thought, let's begin today's puja with Namo Tassa together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Suramiraya majjapama dattana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's offer the Gilampasa Buddha Puja to the Buddha with great respect. He has been in our life all the time, especially when we are not feeling well. So his instruction for us is like gem sometime because we think about him and his teaching just to overcome suffering, stress, and negative feelings. Therefore, we pay our utmost respect to the Buddha by offering flowers and other puja items. Here, on behalf of children, parents, and teachers, we all offer the puja items at the vihara to pay our due respect to the Buddha. By any merits we develop throughout this chanting and offering Ilampasa, may our beloved fathers be well, happy, and peaceful, and may the mothers also be well, happy, and peaceful, and everyone in the family, everyone in the world be well, happy, and peaceful. So, with this scattered, immeasurable, and widespread friendliness and loving kindness in mind, let us recite Gatha together to offer the Buddha Puja. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagavarahang samma sambuddho. Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavido. Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati. Satta deva manussanang buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko. Akaliko ehi passiko opanaiko pacchatang veditabbo viññohite. Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Sāmīci patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho. Yadidang cattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala. Esa bhagavato savaka sangho. Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo. Anuttarang punyaketang lokasati. Vandami cetiyang sabbang sabbatane supatittitang. Saririka dhatu mahabodhing buddha rupang sakalang sada. Yassa mule nisingnova sabbari vijayang akka. Patto sabbang yutang satta vande tang bodhipadapang. Ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita ahang pite namassami bodhi raja namattute Ganasarapadittena dipena tamadangsina Tilokadipang sambuddhang pujayami tamunudang Gandha sambara yuttena dupenahang sugandina Pujaye pujaniyang tang puja bhajana muttamang Vannagandha gunopetang etang kusuma santating Pujayami muning dassa siripada sarorue Pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punyena etena ca hotu mokkang Pumpang milayati ataidang me Kayo tatayati vinasa bhavang Adivase tuno bante Paniyang upanamitan Anukampang upadaya patigannatu uttama Adivase tuno bante gilana paccayang imang Anukampang upadaya patigannatu uttama Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang Acchayang kamami bante buri panya tatagata Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang Acchayang me dhamma sandittika akalika Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang Acchayang me sangha supatipanna anuttara Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we start meditation for peace and happiness right now, and it will help us long-term peace and happiness. So today we learn about meditation, and that help us regulate our life to the future, and we will have so many good things with this meditation experience. I know that you are well aware of the step of meditation, so it is easy for me to guide you into type of calmness and transcending moments of your mind. So let us begin meditation with upright body. I am going to ring the bell to start the meditations. You close eyes with the sound of the bell and begin scanning the body. You are slowly entering into a very calm and peaceful happiness and peace. It is a state of mind where you feel your body You are well aware of where you sit and who is sitting close to you, and you feel the ground or the chair you sit. Be yourself. Feel the body from top of it to the bottom. You feel your legs, two hands, the front of your body, the chest and the stomach, then the back of the body, head and the face. What you see from your face is eyes, the nose, the lips, the chin and cheeks. There you feel the breathing happens to the tip of the nostril. You feel the sensation of in-breath and out-breath. Try your best to feel the inhalation and exhalation when they happen. So I'm going to move on to count down attention. So I'm going to count from 1 to 10 and 10 to see 1. So you could breathe in and breathe out slowly but mindfully, just to allow our mind to stay with the breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, breathe in, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you are mindful about your breath. It means you are aware of your physical body. So now we cultivate friendly thoughts in our heart. First, start with us. So you wish yourself happiness and peace. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May no problems come to me. May I always be patient, courage, and determined to overcome problems and failures in life. May I be free from suffering. May I have good parents, siblings, and friends always. May my peaceful state of mind increase day by day. May my whole life be well, be happy, be peaceful. Now, in order for you to be happy and peaceful, you indeed need your parents, siblings to be happy, peaceful, and joyful as well. So, your family is the center of your happiness and success. So, wish your father, mother, siblings, your uncle, your auntie, your cousins, and Sias, Archies, everyone in the family, the blessings, the joy, and happiness. Like me, my whole family be well, be happy, be peaceful. May no harm come to them, may no difficulties come to them, may no problems come to them. May they also have patience, courage, understanding, and determination for a happy and peaceful life. May they also have spiritual energy and wisdom to overcome problems. And may they all face the challenges with brave mind. And may they finally be in total peace, happiness, and joy. Now think of your friends, your teachers, relatives, and people like you most. They are also important for our happiness. If they are in suffering, how could we be how could we become happy and joyful? So you wish your friends, relatives, colleagues, teachers, and those people like you most well-being and happiness. May they also be well, be happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May no problems come to them. May they be away from suffering. May they all find peace, happiness, and joy by way of applying Dhamma. May they all be well, happy, and peaceful. Now, all human beings in the entire world, we have countries, continents, that is for easy administration. But we are human beings who have red blood, who have other equal parts and way of living, despite the differences with language, color of skin, religion, geography, and many other. We as great children of the Buddha consider each and every humans in the world. Those who have been violating human conditions, may they also understand the importance of protecting human life. There are humans who kill animals for survival. May they also stop those cruel acts and help the world go forward with happiness and peace. Children like us, children in our age who are sick, and children who wish love from their parents and others, may they all be well, be happy, be peaceful. Those who are in hospitals, facing challenges and fear of dying, may they all become free from those problems, fear. May all humans let go of greed, cruelty, attachment, and may the humans help others. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be peaceful. Now think of animals, from tiny, invisible animals to giant elephants, blue whales, giraffe, and huge buffaloes and rhinoceros. Those who are in the forest, those who are with humans, and those who live in the water, and those who live in invisible realms. May they all be well, happy, and peaceful. May the humans stop killing living beings, and may the animals also support human existence. May every living being in the universe be well, be happy, be peaceful. So, with this wholesome thought in mind, let us begin reciting Karanametta Sutta as you see in the screen. So, by this thought of loving kindness, may we all be well, happy, and peaceful. Keep this thought in mind while reciting Karanametta Sutta. Karaniya matta kusalena yang tang santang padang abhisamicca Sakko ujuca sujuca suaco chassa mudu anatimani Santussa koca subaroca appa kiccoca sallahukavutti Santindriyoca nipakoca appa gabbo kulesu ananugiddo Nachekuddang samacare kinciena vinyo pare upavadeyung Sukino va kemino hontu sabbe satta bhavantu sukitatta Ye kechipana bhutate tasavathavarava anavasesa Digava ye mahantava majjimarasa kanukatula Dittava yeva additta ye cha dure vasanti avidure Bhutava sambhave siva sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta Neparo parang nikumbeta nati manyeta katta chinang kanche vyarosana patiga sanya nanya manyasa dukkha micceya Mata yata niyang puttang ayusa eka putta manurakke Evang pi sambha bhutesu manasang bhavaye aparimanang Mettanca sabba lokasming Manasang bhavaye aparimanang Uddang adoca tiriyang ca asang badang averang asapatang Tittang carang nisingnova sayanova yavatassa vigatamindo Etang sating aditteya brahmametang viharang idamahu dittinca anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno kamesu vineyagedang nahi jatu kabba seyang punareti. Now we read the meaning of the loving kindness discourse, Metta Sutta. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing, that the wise reprove later, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding by not holding to fixed views, the pure hearted one having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is born again into this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So next time it means from the September, each students take time to read the loving kindness discourse. So, for example, if one student A read the Karnyamet Sutta and also the meaning of this week, and the student B will take the next week chance to read the Karnyamet Sutta and also the meaning. If some students cannot repeat the Pali verse, so there are a couple of who can do it. Then everybody is familiar with the English translation, they can read it. So that's how I think I should go with the recitation of Karnyametha Sutta in Pali and also in English when we start the Dhamma School for the next summer, next fall. So with that, we go to read the Code of Discipline. Definitely that can be read by one of our students. So let me, who could read it? Who would like to take the chance to read the Code of Discipline? I do know. So last week, who read it? Somebody unmute the mic, but I cannot see you. Who did last week? Can you unmute your mic yourself and tell me? Okay, let me pick one. Yes, Situli, right?
Nituli.
Situli, sorry. I
Okay.
always your names.
Okay. Um, as I stand here before the triple gem, my teachers and my parents, I promise to follow, for the sake of my own trading and growth, this code of discipline for all times. I go to the refuge of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, the triple gem, seeking its guidance to spend my days in peace and harmony. As a good Buddhist student, I shall always learn to be kind, to be honest, polite, and truthful. My parents are the best friends I have. I understand how much they love me and care for me. I love them truly. Never will I do anything to hurt their feelings. I shall always respect them, obey them, and care for them in return. I shall always seek the company of good friends, from whom I can learn how to be good, successful, and excellent in whatever I do. I shall always try not to be selfish, but self-giving for the sake of my own fellow beings. May I therefore treat everyone with respect, generosity, good words, and fairness, and be happy in serving others selflessly.
Thank you very much, Italy, for reading the Code of Discipline. So that is done. That the first part of the Dhamma School is done with that. So we spend 10 more minutes in the puja session today because it is last day of our Dhamma School. So we wanted some meditations, some guidance for our mental peace. So before I go to today's lesson, I just want to talk about the Father's Day. I cannot remember when is Mother's Day. Did we already pass it? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, so we have already passed it. So today is Father's Day. In Europe, I think they consider the Father's Day is as 19 June 19, and in Asian culture we do not have this day uh, celebrated that much by people because of the different culture, but it's growing in Asian culture that they should celebrate the Father's Day and take the leaves and go to fathers and do respect, so forth. But in this culture, as you were born, as you are born and grew up, have been growing up in this culture, you exactly come across various ceremonies in the recent past years about Father's Day and about other important days. So today you are limited to various things, and you cannot go out and give your father a surprised gift or whatever you plan. But still, you are a surprise to your father when you do good things and behave well, and when you do your homework and help your mother and father and siblings equally. It is always a blessings to your father. Fathers are always silent. In some houses, they are active like mothers, but in many cases, fathers are deep and their behavior is silent. And actually, the silent mode of your fathers are inbuilt. And if I share with you about my father, who is still living in Sri Lanka, we have to speak 100 words to get one word from it. From him. So he doesn't talk much, but whatever he says, it's so valid and it is up to the point. And we always respect him. Uh, like that, I know that many fathers, behave like a, man, and always. This could be seen even in animal kingdom. Look at the lion. Look at the male tiger, the elephants, giraffe, rhinoceros, deer. The male always do the hard jobs for the sake of the herd, the group, and mothers are, playing big role in various things, while the father makes sure to protect each and everyone and also provide many things that mothers cannot do. Why why do mothers don't do something? Because they spend their whole time to keep children in the womb, and after they deliver their babies, they have to stay in one place taking care of them. That's why the father naturally select to go out from their inhabited places and find living for them. So therefore, the fathers always, as the breadwinners, work so hard to make the whole family safe and enough protection and so forth. So we should touch the feet of our father I would say, and wish them happiness and peace. And for if we, according to the culture here, we give a hug to our father and say, "Thank you, my father, for creating me into this state." So that is what you need to do. And just these blessings doesn't make any sense unless you do your jobs at home. Situli, are you trying to say something?
Alhamdulillah. Apiki tata salit ne. Yeah,
Ah,
miss. Kidhar
I.
hai?
That's very good. That's very good. Um, okay, so you say that your father is solid and strong. Doesn't he cry when something happens? But mothers cry. Do you see the difference? Mothers are so sensitive. It doesn't mean
Yes.
they are weak. It doesn't mean that they are weak, but they are so sensitive. But fathers always keep their, feeling strong and inside, and they don't tell it. They don't show up it. That's how, right? Yeah. So is Minit going to say something about your father? Nothing? You have to say a lot. I know your father very well. He's a very quality father. Anyway, so who would like to share about your father's like beautiful stories and good memories, and you can tell others how great your father with this fact, with this, and for example, I told you about my father. One, I became a monk when I was 13. How many of you are in that age? 13, right? How old, Dinure? Are you 13 now? And how about Sevni? Are you 13?
Mama said to me, yeah, 13.
Oh, sorry. I thought your name is first and Nangi. Oh, I mix up. Always I mix up some names. Are you 13 now or 12?
13.
Yeah. See, on August 3rd, 1993, I think you were not born. On August 3rd, 1993, I went to temple as a boy to become a monk, and I wasn't able to stay at the temple for couple of days because I remembered home and I cried a lot. And I asked my parents to take me back to home. So my Lukahamdru took me back to my home, and I stayed there for several weeks. Then my father, who is not talking much, called me and asked, "Do you like to go to temple, and become a monk?" Then I said yes, because I know that I'm going to go to that particular place, so I have a kind of experience now. Then he said that if you go there, you cannot come back. You have to become a monk and stay in this life. And if you come back like first time, I'm not going to take you there. So that's all he said with solid, strong voice. And then that's all. So he used to come to see me to the temple every week for 2 months, and then once a 2 week, and next 2 months, and then he slowly stopped coming to see me, because he was doing that because he thought that I should have my presence at the temple, just for this young boy to be familiar, and then that's how my father thought. So but he was not talking that much. Even when he came to temple, he talked to Lokuhamdru and other monks, but not with me. But now things has changed. Now he's talking a lot than even my mother. So sometime your fathers change your attitude when you become 20 years old, boy and girl. They would love you so much, especially fathers. They will be starting talking a lot. Sometimes you wish, Father, could you turn into silent mode like you were before when I was 13 or 10? So some fathers are like that. So they are so good for you. Especially somebody, let me see who said something. My father never cry. Yeah, I know that. Manit has said that my father never cries. Actually, yes, but mothers comparatively do that just because they are so sensitive and they want everything to be perfect, uh, and that's why that is the difference. But both of them are very very good, and you cannot repay by anything for what they have been doing for you. That is that you will understand their greatness when you become 25 30s, and when you get have your own life, you will realize how great your mother and father. So that's why we always encourage children to think that they are better, they are the teachers in our life. Sometimes you study languages, sub field of studies like science, maths, astrology, psychology, and different things better than parents. Sometimes your parents cannot have good action in English or French as you have. And sometimes children, when they turn to teenage age, they think that we are best, we are the but remember this, that they were born before us, and they have huge experience uh, about life, about various things, and they can feel whatever you think and whichever way you behave. So give credits to them always if you do something great, and if you are not in a good mood, tell your ideas with father or mother, and they will find solutions for all these problems in your life. I just want to remind you that the Buddha was a great father too. Do you remember the Buddha story? Just before the Dhamma School, we let you hear Narasiha Gata, Chakka Varankita Ratta Supadu, and so that is recited by Yasodhara, showing his only son Rahula, uh, you know, uh, his father, the Buddha. Then one day the Buddha was taking the Prince Rahula by hanging his hand, and he was taken to the monastery and gave the best treasure he had, that is the Dhamma. So when that is how the Buddha treated his own son, uh, 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 and we should think about that as well on this Father's Day. So therefore, uh, we respect our father, and we wish our father good health, because he might be dealing with so many things in his life, at the workplace, and with the relationship between family members and relatives and friends, but he's not going to show you all these problems, and he keeps them with him, and perhaps share them with your mother, but he is not showing you those burdens of his mind to you, because he thinks that you should be simple as it is, and you should study well, and that is how great fathers always do. So pay your uh, you know timely and untimely and huge respect to the father, by way of living peacefully and studying the Dhamma, and also doing your responsibilities. That is about the father. So in a week time, we are going to have Poson Poya. Like Vesak Poya, the Poson Poya is remarkable for all Sri Lankans because of one reason. I think you are aware of the Poson Poya. Last year, the pandemic hit so hard in March, and then we were not able to celebrate Vesak due to the newly uh, you know uh, problems. We got the pandemic, but we were able to hold a Poson Poya celebration. Do you remember you did songs and also you made some speeches about Poson Poya? So exactly a year ago we did that, and this year for Poson Poya we don't do anything because we had a very successful program for Vesak. So Poson Poya is coming on 24th of June. In today is 20th, and in 4 days we have Poson Poya. So, what is the significant things happen on the full moon day of June uh, for many centuries ago? Is there anyone who remember the significance of the Poson Poya? Sanuk, do you know what happened on Poson Poya day?
I think Raru, I think it's Hamburkinik arrived at Lankavar.
Okay, so he said in Sinhala that a monk came to Sri Lanka from, he didn't say from where. Yeah, that is what happened exactly on the full moon day of June. Venerable Mahinda, the son of Emperor Asoka, came to Sri Lanka with Buddhism, and he introduced Buddhism to the king of Sri Lanka, Devanam Pietissa, who was behind a deer, and established the established Buddhism in Sri Lanka. So that began on the full moon day of June, right? So let me give you some details about it so that you become aware of it. In 3rd century BC, well before Jesus Christ appeared in the world, 300, not 300, I think 200, around 50 years before the Jesus Christ, uh, the Emperor Asoka became the monarch in India. That India is not India today. The India at the time of Emperor Asoka was, uh, you know, huge, and one corner of India at that time was closer to the edge of Pakistan and Afghanistan, of Uzbekistan, and from the other side, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and so forth. It's a huge country there in India. So the Emperor Asoka was able to rule the entire India with success. And how he became a righteous king is a remarkable incident. Venerable Negro, a small monk, was the cause for Emperor Asoka to be Buddhist. He was a very cruel king before that incident. So, in order to take the countries into his kingdom and attach, he was in war with different countries, including South Indian countries and also West and the East. So he made many people to be killed during the war, and but he was upset, so upset about it. So he saw Venerable Negro, the young monk, who while he was going somewhere in a very charming manner. So when the Emperor Asoka saw this young monk, he was so happy, and he was taken to the palace and got the message of the Dhamma. Later on, Emperor Asoka not only claimed that he is Buddhist, he also made a lot of temples. It is said that he built 84,000 temples across India. You can see how many temples. Today we don't see that many, only couple of, but he made lot of temples. In number, it is 84,000. And he made lot of inscription, and they are still in existing in Indian museum and in Sri Lanka. So even in Sri Lankan history, there are evidences that he supported Sri Lanka. So as a result of his devotions to Buddhism, he wanted to develop the Buddhism, develop Buddha Sasana, Buddhism, and spread the message of the Buddha across India and out of India to the neighboring countries. So his son and daughter also became monks and nuns. His son, one of the son, was Venerable Mahinda, and the daughter was Sangamita. So both came to Sri Lanka. The incident happened on the full moon day of June. Is that Venerable Mahinda, along with a few monks and a layperson, came to Sri Lanka. The clear spot we marked that Venerable Mahinda came to is Mihintala. It is in the middle of Sri Lanka on on the mountain called Mihintala. So on that day, the king of Sri Lanka, Devanampitisa, was in a hunting game. So while he was running behind a deer, Venerable Mahinda appeared on top of the mountain and said that, stop, stop. Then Venerable Mahinda was able to get the attention of the king by asking some interesting questions about mango and also about relatives. So that way, Venerable Mahinda was able to know that the king is wise and intelligent. So then he started explaining the Dhamma to King Devanampitis and the royal members, and also the entire Sri Lanka, making the Sri Lanka a Buddhist nation. So you should remember that Sri Lanka is a Buddhist country from 3rd century BC, starting on full moon day, and now Sri Lanka has been having a long history of Buddhism. So that's why this 4 day is remarkable for especially Sri Lankans. And I think many Asian countries got Buddhism because of the Emperor Asoka's and also Venerable monks' effort to disseminate the Dhamma to neighboring countries, either on the full moon day of June or close days to the full moon day of June. So that is about the wholesome day, and as Dhamma School student, you should know about the significance of Venerable Mahinda's Dhamma mission in Sri Lanka. Okay, it's 3 o'clock now, so I should go to the lessons today. As you know, we plan to have stories of our lessons in this Dhamma School session, but we will change this little bit when we start the Dhamma School in September. We plan some good lessons with PowerPoint presentation about the teachings of the Buddha, and also about general way of understanding life with the help of the Buddha. So myself and other teachers will manage it, and we are working so hard to make those lessons during this 2 months period. At the same time, I just want to tell you that the Dhamma School videos will be uploaded into YouTube during these 2 months, and so that you can have the access to each Dhamma School session in the YouTube maybe in 1 month. So we'll take time to YouTube video, YouTube channel. So that way you can refer to them even after those lessons done. Okay, so now we move on to the lesson. Give me a second. That is not the the thing I wanted to show you. Let me. Okay, so I'm ready with sharing it. All right, can you see the screen?
We can see the screen.
All right, so yeah, so the story we are going with today is the crane and the crab. So it's a beautiful story and it is famous in the literature, Buddhist literature. So before we go to the lesson, I just want you to have questions and concern. Uh, so you can ask them from the others after the lesson. And if you remember any similar story like this, you can add them also. So while one reads the paragraph, you can get the notes and also make your own questions. So who would like to go first with the title of the story? Sorry. Who would like to go first?
Can I go?
Yes, please. Oh,
Once,
oh wait. I think I mixed up. Let me get the story. Yes. Okay, go ahead, please.
the crane and the crab. Once upon a time there was a crane who lived near a small pond. Right next to the pond was a big tree with a fairy living in it. He learned by observing the various animals.
Okay, go ahead with the next paragraphs also because it the first one gives only some information, so you go to the second one also. Then it would be good.
Um, there were also many small fish living in the small pond. The crane was in the habit of picking up the fish with his beak and eating them. Since there happened to be a drought in the area, the water level in the pond was becoming lower and lower. This made it easy for the crane to catch fish. In fact, he was even getting to be a little fat.
Okay, so yeah, the story of the crane and the crab tells us a beautiful story. It begins by saying that there is a small pond, and next to that there is a a tree, and in that tree there is a type of fairy. It's kind of a divine being. So this divine being, the fairy, says different things happen in this pond. So a small fish, it's a small pond and with small fish, and the crane uh, has a habit to eat these fish over and over again and every day as a habit. So then what happened? Drought came, and the water of the small pond is going to the lowest. Therefore, the crane find it's easy for the crane to take the fish for to eat. So yeah. So after that, who is going to read the next two paragraphs?
However, the crane discovered that no matter how easy it was to catch fish and no matter how many he ate, he was never completely satisfied. But he did not learn from this. Instead, he decided that if he ate all the fish in the pond, then he would find true happiness. Uh,
The more the merrier, right?
The more the merrier, he said to himself. In order to catch all the fish in the pond, the crane thought up a clever plan. He would trick the fish and deceive them into trusting him. Then, when they trusted him the most, he would gobble them up. He was very pleased with himself for thinking up such a trick.
All right. So what does the first paragraph of your reading says in a simple word?
It says that uh, he wasn't satisfied that he ate that much fish, and uh, and he thought he would eat. he would be happy if he ate all the fish. And he thought of a clever plan, and the plan is that he would make the fish trust him and then gobble them up.
We can say that the crane is not a happy guy, no matter how many fish he eats. So I can. This is a very good thing. Sometimes people we can find people like this. They have enough food and clothes and everything. Uh, they have everything, but they are not satisfied about them. Just like this crane. So it is a kind of lesson for us to be happy with whatever we have. If you are not happy with whatever you have, two things happen to you. Well, the first thing is that you are in suffering because you are not happy. The other thing is there is no guarantee that you get more. Maybe you will have more troubles. Maybe you disturb others. So you would be violating rules and regulation because you have a great desire of wanting many things. So this tells us a very important message that we should be satisfied with anything we have. In order to catch all the fish in the pond, the crane thought of a clever plan. See, he could have lived just by eating one fish at a day or on at a time. We are not asking, we are not seeing that this is a good thing, but that is how animals live. We cannot complain about it. So, but his plan was to catch everyone, and he made a plan. It is a very cunning plan. Let's see what is going on after that. So he would trick the fish and deceive them into trusting him. Then they trust him the most. He would gobble them. He was very pleased with himself for thinking up such a trick. Yeah. So who is going to read after that?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
To begin with, the crane sat down on the shore to remain quietly in one position, just like a holy man in the forest. This was intended to get the fish to trust him. The fish came to him and asked, "Sir Crane, what are you thinking?" The holy-looking crane answered, "Oh, my dear fish, it makes me so sad to think of your future. I'm thinking about the coming miserable disaster."
Yeah. So nobody knows the crane's plan. It is in his mind. It is cruel, but he pretend that he's very kind and compassionate, animal sitting on the shore. Uh, he is doing this. Then the fish came and asked, "What are you thinking? You look so calm and peaceful and kind and compassionate." Then simply he said that, "I'm worrying about you because the water would be completely, drying up in few days in this terrible drought. So I'm thinking about your terrible, miserable future." So then let's see what now the crane is making a plan. Actually, he is working according to his plan. That plan is unfortunately horrible and not peaceful as the crane show it. So who is going to read the next two paragraph? Please.
I can read it.
Yeah.
Okay. They said, "My lord, what disaster is coming to us?" To which the crane replied, "Look around you. There is very little water left in this pond. You are also running out of food to eat. This severe drought is very dangerous for you, poor little ones."
What about the next paragraph?
I'll go. I can do it.
Yeah, please.
Then the fish asked, "Dear Uncle Crane, what can we do to save ourselves?" "My poor little children," said the crane, "you must trust me and do as I say. If you allow me to pick you up in my beak, I will take you one at a time to another pond. The pond is much bigger than this one. It is filled with water and covered with lovely lotuses. It will be like a paradise for you." When they heard the part about the beak, the fish became a little suspicious, and they said, "Mr. Crane, how can we believe you? Since the beginning of the world, there has never been a crane who wants to help fish. Cranes have put fish in their beaks only to eat them. This must be a trick, or else you must be joking." The
Very
crane
good.
then raised his head and made himself look as dignified as possible. He said, "Please, don't think such a thing. You won't trust me. You should trust me. But if you don't believe me, send one fish with me and I will show him the beautiful pond. Then I will bring him back here. You will know I can be trusted." The fish said to another, "This crane looks so dignified. Sounds like an honest crane. But just in case it's a trick, let us send with him a useless little troublemaker fish. This will be a test." They found a young fish who was known for playing hooky from school. They pushed him towards the shore.
All right, Miles, we'll stop there and we'll read again. So let's go to the beginning, where the begin point where Miles start reading. So, so the plan was working for the crane, because he was deceiving the fish, and initially fish, fish were convinced by the crane that there are little water here in this pond and it is going to be over soon. Therefore, I would help you. I would help you by taking you to different place, a pond bigger than this and a pond which has more water than this. That is the agreement. So then fish also thought that this crane are talking about our savior. But they question, how can you believe you, because you are eating our members each day, and how can you believe you? Then the crane tried to convince that that I can do this. Please don't think such a thing. Can't you see that I am a very special crane? You should trust me. But if you don't believe me, send one fish with me and I will show him the beautiful ponds. Then when I bring him back here, you will know I can be trusted. So yeah, fish were not in a positions to believe what the crane said because of the nature of the crane, but the plan was working according to the crane. So one fish is coming with me and I will show that fish the beautiful big pond nearby and bring him back so that there is a trust building in fish mind about the crane. So then we can see that this crane must be a very good one, otherwise he doesn't say this. So let's think that this crane is not a bad one, so work according to his plan. So then young fish, who is always taking challenges, and we can see that he was picked by the cranes, pick and beak and taken into the uh, big pond. Just as the crane said, it was covered with the lovely lotuses, and the fish were so happy, and the crane carried that young fish back to the pond, which is nearly dried. So now that is what happened. So he's going to read after that.
Can I read?
Is Minit is going to read.
Okay. Where?
Starting from arriving home.
Okay. Arriving home, the little fish described the wonders of the beautiful big pond. Hearing this, all the other fish became very excited and rushed to be the first to go. The first lucky passenger was that same useless troublemaker. Again, the crane picked him up from his beak and flew to the big tree on the shore of the beautiful new pond. The little one, who was sure the helpful crane was about to drop him in the wonderful pond, but instead the crane suddenly killed him, gobbled up his flesh, and let the bones fall to the ground. The crane
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. One more.
The crane returned to the old pond, brought the next fish to the same tree, and ate them in the same way. Likewise, one by one, he gobbled up every last fish.
Thank you very much, Minit, for reading the 3 paragraphs. So yeah, we see that. So now the crane was able to convince that that he is trustworthy person, and now the game started. So fish, the young fish who went to the new pond, big pond with the crane, explained the beautiful big pond to his friends and all the fish in the small pond. Hearing about this, they all like to go there. They are so excited now. So now they make a line, and they wanted to go with the crane to that beautiful big pond. The first lucky passenger was that same useless little troublemaker. Okay, again the crane picked him up in his beak and flew to the big tree on the. So yeah, the agreement was that the crane took each and every fish in the pond and released the beak of the crane when the crane was flying on top of the big pond. Therefore the fish fall down to the water of the pond. But instead, what was doing this crane, he stood up on a branch nearby the pond and started eating the fish one after the other. So so the crane returned to the old pond, brought the next little fish to the same tree, and ate him in the same way. Likewise, one by one, he gobbled up every last fish. So that is what happened. So up to the last one, he did that. I think the crane took a couple of days to do that, because we do not know how many fish live in that small pond. It is a thinking ability for us to think, have a conclusion that if there are 100 fish, the crane could not eat them within one day. Maybe it took a couple of days to do that, right? So that's finally no fish at all in the small pond, because each and everyone was gone. So now we go to the next paragraph, starting from he became so stuffed. Who is going to read after that?
Where are we?
Yeah. He became so stuffed. That's the
Oh,
we stop.
okay. He became so stuffed with fish meat that he had trouble flying back to the little pond. He saw that there was no more fish left for him to trick and eat. Then he noticed a lonely crab crawling along the muddy shore. Then he realized that he was still not completely satisfied.
Okay.
So he walked over to the crab and said, "My dear crab, I have kindly carried all the fish to a wonderful big pond not far from here. Why do you why do you wish to remain here alone? If you simply do as the fish have done, and let me pick you up in my beak, I will gladly take you there. For your own good, please trust me."
Yeah. So once he finished all the fish in the pond, now actually what happened was he now doesn't have anyone to eat. Having eaten fish all the time, he had a habit to eat a lot. Suppose if you eat a full plate of anything you eat every day, you need to have it because our mind gets a habit to eat that amount of food every day at that time. So the habits come in such a way that if you do something today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow for a couple of days, it becomes habit. It is relevant to animals and also human equally. So this crane ate fish every day as a habit. Now he cannot live without eating fish. He wants couple of fish every day now, but he cannot find any fish. So he was looking at the pond with some muddy water, little water. So he saw a crab slowly going from one direction to the other. So the crane went close by and asked whether you would like to go to the new pond because I took every fish into that pond. Why do you worry? Stay here and suffer a lot. So then the crane suggested the crab to think about it, and he simply said that I could help you. So let's see how things work after that. So
Can I
someone,
please read Hamadune?
yes, please.
But the crane thought there was no doubt this overstuffed crane has eaten all those fish. His belly is so full he can hardly stand up straight. He definitely cannot be trusted. If I can get him to carry me to the new pond and put me in it, so much better. But if he tries to eat me, I will have to cut off his head with my sharp claws.
Continue reading.
Then the crab said, "My friend the crane, I am afraid I'm too heavy for you to carry in your beak. You can surely drop me along the way. Instead, I will grab onto your neck with my 8 legs, and then you can safely carry me to my new home."
Okay, so yeah, it seems that the crab is wise and intelligent. Uh, so the crab thought that this would be not that good because how could I trust this crane? Uh, because I think according to the story, crab is intelligent, and now crab is thinking that now I should be ready with if something happened. I would definitely make a retaliation. Therefore, he said that I'm too heavy to carry. I'm too heavy for you to carry me through your, beak. So let me grab your neck so that I would definitely go with you without any problem. Uh, and the crab thinks that if he's trying to eat me, I will definitely, cut his, neck, so that the crane would definitely, suffer a lot. So if you see the crab acting, I think many of you have seen crab. They have sharp, fingers, and they are like blade. So the crab can do such damage to crane. Uh, can can you can somebody who did not read continue reading from the passage from the para? Then the crab said.
Then the crab said, "My friend Crane, I am afraid I'm much too heavy for you to carry me in your beak. You would surely drop me along the way. Instead, I will grab onto your neck with my 8 legs, and then you can safely carry me to my new home."
Continue.
The crane was so used to playing tricks on others that he did not imagine he would be in any danger, even though the crab would be grasping him by the throat. Instead, he thought, "Excellent, this will give me a chance to eat the sweet meat of this foolish, trusting crab."
Continue.
So the crane permitted the crab to grab onto his neck with all 8 legs. In addition, he grasped the crane's neck with his sharp claws. He said, "Now kindly take me to the new pond."
Okay, so can you read the next? Okay, let's wait here. So yes, now we can see that what happens. You all understand the simple way of the story goes forward. So now only thing the crane thinks is to eat the flesh of the crab. Uh, that is tasty, and the taste of the crab is different from the fish. So that is the thing. That is the only thing the crane thinks. But the crane is not that intelligent to think about the danger of this effort, because the crab is much more intelligent. And let's see how things happen at the end, and what happened to the crane when the crabs saw the bones of some, I guess, bones of some fish. I assume that it is that is what happened. uh, so we need to read from the paragraph, "The foolish crane." Who is going to read now?
I can read.
Yeah.
The, the foolish crane, with his neck in the clutch of the crab, flew to the same big tree next to the new pond. Then the crab said, "Hey, you stupid crane, have you lost your way? You have not taken me to the pond. Why don't you take me to the shore and put me in?" The crane said, "Who are who are you calling stupid? I don't have to take you to that take you that for you. You're not my relative. I suppose you thought you tricked me into giving you a free ride, but I'm the clever one. Just look at all those fish bones under the tree. I've eaten all the fish, and now I'm going to eat you too. You stupid crab."
Yeah. So now you say that the crane did not fly far away from that pond. He was stopping at a nearby tree, and the crab came to know that the crane did not fly that much and staying in same area. Then the crab asked, "Why you are staying here? Why don't you take me to the new pond?" So then the word the crab used, "Stupid. You are stupid." And then the crane said to the crab, "How could you call me stupid? Because um, I am the wise one here. You fall into my trick here. How could I give you a free ride? Because everyone else, uh, you know, face the same fate, and you are going to have the same thing. I'm the clever one. You all fall into, fell into my trick, and so I'm the wise one. So I'm going to eat all these." All of your flesh, like I did for all fish. So can you see the bones of the fish under the tree? So now crab replied. So can somebody else read?
The,
Yes, you can read.
The crab replied, "Those fish were eaten because they were foolish enough to trust you. But no one, but no one, but no one would trust you now because you tricked the fish. You have become so conceited, you think you can trick anyone. But you can't fool me. I have you by the throat. So if one dies, we both die. Then the crane replied, No. Then the crane realized the danger he was in. He begged the crab, Oh, my lord crab, please release me. I have learned my lesson. You can trust me. I have no desire to eat such a handsome crab as you.
Yes, the crab actually replied crab in a strong way that do you think that I am foolish like those fish? Think about where I am now on your body. So I'm hanging on to your necks. I'm holding your necks. So I'm not like those fish. I knew that you have such a plan. So I got ready with my own plan. If you trick me, I definitely cut your neck and the head and everything. So now the crane realized the danger he is in. Therefore, he actually even now the crane is begging just because he tried his best to get out of the danger and kill the crab. When the crab is out of the neck, crab is nothing but uh, but the crane could attack so hard with his beak to the crab. So anyway, that now the story happens in that way that the crab is circulating his hands and legs around the neck of the crane, and now he's going to kill the crab. And do you see, I have no desire to eat such a handsome crab as you. Now the crane uses all the tricks he could just to save his life, but we do not know what happened. We can assume, but let's read to understand what happened to the crane. So who is going to read after this? Was Mali a minute ready to read the previous? Can you take reading now?
Oh, well.
Starting from then he flew down.
Let me see. Then he flew down to the shore and continued, Now please release me. For your own good, please trust me. But this old crab had been around. He realized the crane could not be trusted no matter what he said. He knew if he let go of the crane, he would be eaten for sure. So he cut through his neck with his claws just like a knife through butter. And the crane's head fell to the ground. Then the crab crawled safely into the wonderful pond.
Continue, Putta, for reading for one more paragraph. Oh, you can finish the reading.
Meanwhile, the inquisitive fairy had come to the new pond to see all that happened. Sitting on the very top of the big tree, he said for all the gods to hear, the one who lived by tricks and lies, no longer trusted, now he dies.
Okay, so yeah, we can see that but this that the crab had been in the process of killing the crane. So there is no trust at all on this crane because he had eaten all the fish in the pond instead of taking them to a new pond. So if the crab let this crane go away, he would definitely attack him and kill him. So what did the crab did was cut in the throat by his claws, just like a knife through knife through butter. So as I told you, and as you have seen, those legs with sharp tips could damage even us. So if you go to river or the lakes and the sea where crabs, mostly crabs live, you will be in danger also. So we must be careful of going to swimming in the river or a lake uh, about these crabs. They might hurt you. So what happened at the end? He was killed by taking the neck out. Meanwhile, what happened? There is another character in this story, that is that fairy who lived in that tree close to the pond. So all these incident, and when something like this happen, the divine beings like this always tell a story or message to people. So what this fairy told the entire world is, the one who lived by tricks and lies no longer trusted, now he dies. So the moral of the story is, the tricker who can't be trusted has played his last trick. So actually this tells us a very good lesson. What is that? We should not do any bad things by tricking people, by making people uh, tricks, and we should not tell lies just because we want temporary happiness. But when the negative karma come along our way, we are so helpless. If you have done some tricks and lies, tell lies over the course of living just because you want benefits, there would be a moment that you suffer a lot from these tricks and lies as a result of your bad karma, right? So the story tells us about the tragedy that happened to the crane and also fish. And if you become a victim of tricks and lies, you will be in danger also, because you become a victim. That's why we want to know, we want to have inquisitive wisdom. But sometimes people will come to you and give you chocolates. So if some people who are unknown to you come and talk to you, just like people who have been with you for a long time, don't trust them. There may be bad people, there may be people who like to become friendly with you, and they might have tricks and different plans in their mind, and unfortunately you will be a victim of those things. One thing I just want to say, so there are students here who are passing year 13, and they will be 14, 16, 15, and then 16 they will go. All of you become teenagers and young adults. Through Facebook, through other medias, there are people who do scam, and they will talk to you about various things, various unwanted, unpleasant things. Just because you are in young age, and if you do not listen to your parents, you would be in great trouble. I came to know about some young people who actually made some connections of unknown people through Facebook, and they were slowly become friends of you, friends of those young people. And finally, what happened? They discuss, they may be in the same city, and those unknown people might ask you to come to a place, maybe in the city hall, maybe in the park area, and they found out that those people who connect with these young boys and girls were not same age people. They were very old, and they had so many bad things in their life, and thugs people, drug addicted, and they wanted to do so many bad things. So fortunately, those two three children found out at the last minute that they are in great danger and they escape. So you might experience this kind of things in your life. The best thing you could do is sharing them with your parents. Perhaps they were mad at you at first, but they are the good, best surveyors of you in this world. Not the police, not anyone else. Of course, you can do it, but you have to share them with your parents first, or your brother or sister. Then don't trust those people. Perhaps you meet a lot of people in the Facebook, in the social media, but they are only people that type you something and just laugh at you. That's all. But the best friends you should have is friends, is people you always see and you always associate with them in your life. So this story tells us many things. If you play tricks and tell lies, that gives some kind of happiness and benefits, and that is only for a short period of time. They return to you as a negative force, and you cannot bear that pain. You will be in great trouble after that. So that is the beautiful message we can get from the story. Friends, when you talk to friends in school, you can take these stories as a proof of some facts. Like you have the opportunity to give a speech on a day, on a special day. So your topic would be good behavior without tricks and lies. So then you speak about the importance of genuine words and genuine way of living. And if you can add that if you do not live with genuine thoughts, we will all be in danger, not only ourselves but everybody else. So I have a story from Buddhist background, that there was a crane and also crab, and you can relate the story. So people will admire you how you take those stories into a speech. It's just like putting the icing on the cake. So you have speech and you make the speech so elegant and beautifully decorated with the story of the crane and crab, right? So when I asked you give an speech on the Vesak Day or next possible ceremony, why don't you take this kind of stories and make your own speech, right? So that's how we learn. That's how we get the message of Buddhism for our life, to make our life more meaningful. All right. So quickly we go to the questions, and don't waste time. If nobody answered quickly, you can tell the answer. So who is going first? If you make questions. Okay. So we go stuff. How about Dinuri and Senul first? Can you tell your questions and go first? Unmute your mic.
My first question is true or false? The crane ate all of the fish.
Yeah, go ahead. Tituli and Sinuli.
True? Yes, true.
Yes.
Dinuri, do you have questions?
Yeah, my first question is, who lived in the tree beside the pond?
1 minute.
The fairy.
Okay, good. Do you have many questions? How many questions do you have?
I have one more.
Okay, just finish.
Who was the first passenger to go to the beautiful pond?
Sanuk?
The little troublemaker, the little fish that was making a lot of trouble.
Is that true? Is that true? Okay, so now we give chance to Situli and Senuli for their questions.
Where did the crane live?
Yeah, Sanuki is going to answer.
In a pond.
Yeah, Um, the next question is,
What was the crane's habit?
Yeah, so we can give the chance, Sayuni. Sayuni, yes.
To eat fish and do bad stuff.
yeah. The next question is, what was the crane plan to do with the? What was the crane's plan to catch the fish?
Yes, Setuni.
To get them to trust him and then to betray them.
Yes. What was the miserable disaster the crane was talking about when talking to the fish?
Sanuk.
In some days that the water will all be gone.
Is that the right answer?
Yes.
The next question is, what made the fish suspicious when the crane was talking about moving to another pond?
Sayuni. Setuni, sorry.
The part about the beak when he said that he needed to transport them using his beak.
Yes.
Okay.
What was the troublemaker known for?
Again, Setuni.
Playing hooker in class.
Yes.
What was the only animal left in the pond?
Yeah. Who is going to answer? Dinuri.
The crab?
Yeah.
Let's see whether the others have questions. So you asked some questions. So what about Minit and then Setuni?
Okay, I have one question, and it is, how did the crab kill the crane?
Yeah. How did the crab kill the crane? Yes. So Dinuri?
He killed the crane by holding on to the crane's neck, and then when the crane was about to eat him, he killed the crane by chopping his head off.
Yeah. Is that right answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, Setuni, take your time.
One last question. How did the crab know that the crane ate all the fish?
Okay, Senu.
By seeing the bones?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the bones near the tree.
Now we go to Setuni.
Okay, so first question. In the beginning of the story, why was it easy for the crane to catch fish?
Sanuk.
Because the water level was going lower and lower. Yes. And then the second question. What did the crane think he needed to do to find true happiness?
So let's see who else can answer. So what about Minit? Oh, Yesandi. Yesandi is going to answer, I think.
By eating all the fish.
Did you hear the answer?
Yeah, yes, that's the right answer.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And then the third question. True or false? The crane was a very happy fellow.
If that's true, who is going to say Minit? Did you raise your hand? Or else Dinuri?
It's false.
Yes. And then next question. How did the fish test the crane to make sure that they could trust him? That they wouldn't eat him?
Yeah. So Sanuk is jumping to answer, so let's give him the chance.
They sent a little young troublemaker at the school, and he would, and then uh, the bird would bring him back and show him, and before he would show him the little troublemaker the pond, and then bring him back.
Yes. And then true or false? All but one fish was eaten.
Yeah, Setuni or Netuli, who is going to answer?
False.
Yes. And then last question. When the crane started talking to the crab was suspicious immediately.
True or false? Yeah, I can say. Can you unmute your mic? So somebody who did not answer yet. So I.
Yeah. The crab was immediately suspicious. It's true.
Yes. And
Yes.
that's it.
Yes. All right. Who else has so question? Yesterday, do you have questions?
No.
And then Sanuk, do you have questions? What about Lily and Miles? Do you have questions?
No.
All right. So who else has questions? I think everybody has. Okay, let me see somebody.
We do have some questions.
Oh, please go ahead.
Well, we only have one, and the question is, why was the crab suspicious of the crane originally?
Yeah, what is the question again? Why was the
crab suspicious of the crane?
Yeah. Scenery.
At the start, it was because the crane was very, very fat. So then he assumed that all the crane ate all the fish.
Yes.
Yeah, by outer appearance, the crab was able to see that there is something wrong happen. And even in this drought period, how could this crane could be so fat and fully grown? There would be something wrong happen. So the wise crab could be able to know something suspicious going on. I think that's all for today. It's close to 4. The last day of the Dhamma School. So I really enjoyed your participation in Dhamma classes each week. I enjoyed it very much. Except 1 week, I guess, I conducted the puja and the Dhamma lessons. I learned a lot from you because when I came with a story, you contributed with your own sentences, patterns of thinking and ideas that made me to think that I should also learn from you, and actually I did that. So that is how the lessons we had during the last couple of months helped me, and I hope you also get Dhamma and good lessons for your life by reading stories and by conducting the puja every week along with some meditation. You take something to your life to make your beautiful life further beautiful. So thank you very much for coming to Dhamma School. I'm really happy about you, and also your parents would be really happy about your Dhamma classes. So let's make a great wish that we come back in September and learn the Dhamma for betterment of our life. And those who did not come to Dhamma School regularly would be also remembered. If you happen to meet them in the future with no corona restriction, tell them to come to Dhamma School, because when there are a lot of your friends in the class, it would be easy for you to go with who knows that the coronavirus is completely gone in couple of months, and we could conduct the Dhamma school at the temple. So if your friends are with you, you would definitely enjoy your learning Dhamma in meditation, with meditation and stories and other things. So thank you very much for your dedication and participation. We really appreciate that. On behalf of parents and teachers, I really thank you for that. Now I just want to thank our teachers, Sweeney teacher and also Nimasi teacher. They were the teachers who taught you during the last year. And also we had Jutapon, the beloved mother of Miles and Lily. She also had some lessons to children just before the pandemic. So we kindly remembered that as well. So these teachers were so great in dedicating their time for us, for you, for our Dhamma knowledge. So we bless them good health and peace of mind. May they all be well, happy, and peaceful. Next, your parents. They were so kind to provide you all the facilities uh, for Dhamma learning. And when we had the Vesak Bhaktigi and other programs, they help a lot with lanterns and decorations and preparing all the other things. So we wish them good health and peace. And of course, we recite their wonderful qualities by two stanzas and worship their feet. So that is the end of today's Dhamma School, the last day of the Dhamma School in this year. So we pay our respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha once again. And before that, we go to worship the holy feet of our mother and father on this Father's Day, especially with Father, and wish them happiness and peace. So put your hands together and think about your beloved mother. Now you are with your mother in mind. So she was the one who, took you to this world, and she kept us in her womb with so much pain, and but she did it with happy mind because she loved us even before we came to this world. So since she delivered us to this world, she was taking care of us with everything, and even today there is no any difference. She is taking care of us every time, even to the future. So with wholesome thought in mind, I worship the holy feet of my beloved mother. May my mother live peacefully, a long life with good health. May my mother attain peace and happiness at last. With this wholesome thought in mind, let's recite the Gatha. Dasa Mase Ure Katva Ose Si Buddhi Karanang Ayudigang Vassa Satang Matu Padang Namamahang. Then our beloved Father, who is appreciated very much today around the world, and in our family, he is the character today. He is the hero today. So my beloved Father, who gave me life, should live forever with good health, and he is my hero. And by bringing this my family into peace and happiness, he has been doing so much, so that I worship his holy feet and wish him good health and peace of mind. May he use this meritorious power that I share with him to live peacefully and make his way to enlightenment. With this wholesome thought in mind, let's recite the Gatha to respect our beloved Father. Uddekaro alingitva chumbitva piya puttakang Rajamanjang Supatintang Pitupadang Namamahang. Now we share the merits with divine beings and also departed relatives. First with departed relatives. By the power of learning Dhamma throughout this year, we accumulated a lot of merits, and may these meritorious powers be with those relatives who passed away recently and long time ago. May they make their way to Nirvana, the enlightenment, by the power of these merits. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. By the power of these merits, may divine beings be well, happy, and peaceful. May they protect us. May they also be peaceful, become peaceful and happy and joyful, and may they attain Nirvana soon. With this wholesome thought in mind, share the merits with Devas. Ettavata amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, children, that's the end of today's Dhamma school. And today is the end of the Dhamma school for this term. And I wish you blessings. May you have the best thing in your life in this 2 months period where there is no Dhamma school, of course, no school at all for you. I guess you have a wonderful time with your family and extracurricular activities. Be safe, be mindful of what you do, help your parents, go out if everything is safe, and enjoy the nature, and give your time for somebody else's happiness. And if you have time and energy, generously donate it for somebody else's happiness. So try your best to make your life happy and peaceful and give it to somebody else. That is what we expect as Buddhist children. So with that blessings, I'm going to recite the concluding instanza for your blessings, and put your hands together and worship the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha for the last time of today's Dhamma school. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Hilavantam Kulavantam Punyakirtam Garottaram Kulavela Mayavantam Buddha Buddha Namamaham Hilavantam Kulavantam Punyakirtam Garottaram Kulavela Mayavantam Buddha Buddha Namamaham Hilavantam Kulavantam Punyakirtam Garottaram Kulavela Mayavantam Buddha Buddha Namamaham. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, thank you. Blessings to you all. Everyone Saranai. So we'll see you soon.
Peruan Sanai Hamdani.
Devan Saranai Hambrani. Saranai Hambrani.
Thank you for teaching
Okay, Teruan Saranai all.
Terung Saranai. Thank you for teaching us Dhamma.
You are welcome.
Also, Hamadurane,
Yes.
I have a question that I don't know the answer to.
What is that question?
A few weeks ago, when we read the Jataka story, Digi the Kosa, I think.
Yeah.
The moral was that you can't fight fire with fire. So does that mean that the crab has bad karma since he killed the crane?
I think karma could start in the present moment also, not necessarily coming from the past. I think when the crab realizes that there is a danger for his life, what he was doing is saving his life by killing the crane. I don't think that that kind of bad karma come from the past happen always. Okay, so sometime karma could start right now. Sometime karma could flow from the past to the present and also future. So in this case, what the crab was doing, that he removed the danger which started a couple of minutes ago. When the crab was understanding that this crane would be someone who is wrong, who had done wrong. At that moment, he realized that the crane was wrong. So when it comes to human life, the karma could work in different ways. It is a vast subject. We cannot give a particular one-to-one answer, but simply we can understand that karma could create even now. Suppose a bird fly over you, and while he was flying, he hit you on your head. So that is because suddenly the bird could be afraid of the hair you have, black hair. So he thought that give a punch and fly. So and you heard it, and you feel pain. That is not because of bad karma he had in his mind, uh, that has the links to the past, and the pain you experience now is not because of bad karma you did in the past. It happens immediately. So things could be started right now. And when I see the story of crab and crane, it's not a that kind of karma that flow from the past to the present moment. It is a karma, definitely started right now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, see you later. You're grown now, both. Malli, how old you are now?
How tall am I? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can measure it. Not now. Otherwise, I have to wait for a couple of minutes until you go and get the measurement and wait and tell. So you can tell it to me later, okay?
Okay.
All right, Sarnai.
Saranai. Thank you, Handruna.